My God, man! She's not even dead yet! Oh, I came across this article about this disabled girl, and the mother considers her so disabled that she's unable, and the doctors don't give her a good life, and she may have her parents have to take care of her long term. So her parents decided, with a radical solution, the New Zealand couple gave their daughter hormones to stop her growth. They had the doctors remove her womb, spare her the pain of menstruation, and now is only 4'3", 53 pounds, and will remain that for the rest of her short life. A small but increasing number of families across the United States, Europe, New Zealand are turning to what is known as growth attenuation, in an attempt to improve the lives of their disabled children. The practice is very controversial. Many see the very idea as stunting and sterilizing disabled as a violation of their human rights. According to this article, back in the 1950s and 60s, growth attenuation, which refers only to the hormone treatment, was sometimes prescribed for girls who are expected to grow very tall. But the first known case of stunting a disabled child to supposedly improve their life showed up in a medical journal in the 2006. A Seattle couple wanted to keep their daughter small enough to participate in family activities as she grew up, so doctors gave her high doses of hormones that pushed her body into early puberty and stunted her growth and removed her uterus, breasts, and breasts to prevent discomfort. More and more doctors have since received requests for growth attenuation. In a recent survey of the Pediatric Endocrine Society, most whose members are in the U.S., 32 of 284 respondents said they prescribed growth stunting hormones to at least one disabled child. But the practice is not widely accepted. Many doctors consider the treatment invasive and unnecessary and refuse to prescribe it. The public opinion often reacts with everything from unease to revulsion. People are entitled to grow and become the people who they're meant to be, says the author and CEO of American Association of Intellectual Development Disabilities. Issue quotes, "Would you ever want this kind of treatment done to you without your consent or knowledge?" And if the answer is no, then why would you want it to do it to someone else? This girl the article is writing about is severely disabled and has a lot of medical problems. And the mother and the parents lived in New Zealand and went to the local pediatric endocrinologist to try to convince the doctor there that stunting her daughter would help her. But the local board of ethics dismissed the treatment as unnecessary. So what did the mother do? she proposed a compromise. If she started the treatment outside of New Zealand, could the local doctors continue it at home? Well, the board approved this request, and the family found a doctor in South Korea who gave them the hormones. At 6, she began bleeding, and the way women sometimes do when they take good birth control pills after she took the hormones. Worried that she would have severe pain, the doctors conducted a hysterectomy. Today, she joins her family on trips to the mall and vacations. Her parents take care of her by cuddling with her in their lap and carrying her in their arms. None of that would be possible, they say, if she did not take the hormones that stunted her development. When she was 5, she almost died from a chest infection, and the mother began to wonder what they would say at her funeral. They couldn't talk about her laughter or her favorite games, so they wrote up a bucket list with experiences they imagined she would enjoy. The mother comments, "We don't expect her to live forever, and we don't want her to live forever, so let's enjoy what we have now." This looks scary. I don't know what to think about this. I mean, that sounds very scary. I mean, I wouldn't want my parents to do that to me, and who knows what type of alternatives or some type of hope or promise with medication or the medical system helping these people. For a while, it almost sounded like the way the article was written, the mother was selfish and pushed for this and made all the choices for her. I mean, I know she doesn't have a long life expectancy, but what happens when the mother can't stand, or the parents can't stand anymore taking care of such a big responsibility, and they just made it even worse because this girl requires more round-the-clock care. And even though this article is from the AP, it sounds very liberal because in the 1900s they did have cases like that of people sterilizing people that they thought were unfit. So who is to determine who is unfit? It was even demonstrated in a movie called Tomorrow's Children. And in that movie, it dramatized them sterilizing poor people and disabled people. And who was one of the first groups to go during the Nazi regime? The so-called unfit people. The people that couldn't produce as well as the healthy people. Or the so-called healthy people. I mean, I agree. I have a hard time too, and I got a bad sentence like she did, and not as it's just a bit different. But I wouldn't want to be sterilized just because I'm disabled. I mean, are we going to get Gattaca? Am I gonna have to get a double? That can pass all the criteria so I can get into a job or something like that? Or do I need a double for me to procreate or doing something like that? And what doctor in their right mind would sterilize someone or stunt their growth unless it was medically necessary. And this doesn't sound like it's very medically necessary. It was. It sounded more like in this story, it was for so the mother could didn't have to deal with this. Stunting just doesn't sound right. I mean, we got a lot of people that are even worse off than me, have more signs of disability that can do so much more than what I could do. And then what can I do too? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I can do. I just don't like the idea of medical decisions being decided if you're for you, and also stunting or almost creating a burden. I mean, caring for people with special needs.